f of x equals x squared. Let's evaluate f of negative 3. f of negative 3. Essentially, we're doing substitution. We're going to plug in negative 3 into the x. So we can think of f of x as y. y equals x squared, and we're going to substitute negative 3 into the x. So y is equals to negative 3 squared, which is 9. In other words, we're going to plug in into this factory an input of negative 3, and the output, the y value is the output, is 9. Given v of t is equals to t cubed, evaluate v of 2. Now your v is like your f and your t is like your x, but we're just dealing with the same function substitution problem. V of 2 does not mean v times 2. This means function substitution. We're going to substitute 2 into the variable t. So we have t cubed, or 2 cubed, which happens to be 8. So v of 2 evaluates to be 8. f of x equals x squared minus 2x. Let's evaluate f of 3. So this is our input of 3, and we need to remember to substitute each and every single occurrence of x. We're going to replace every x with the number 3. So f of 3, that's our input, is equals to something squared minus 2 times something. And that something is the number 3. So what is this new y value? What's f of 3? This is not f times 3. We're talking about one single output value. Y, or f of 3, is equals to 9 minus 2 times 3 is 6, which is 3. Money is a function of time in hours. M of t equals 50t plus 100. How much does the plumber charge for showing up? So we're going to say that the plumber makes $50 per hour. The number 50 is in front of the t. When you show up, t equals 0. So the money, the initial money, is 50 times 0 plus 100. So the plumber makes $100 for being inconvenienced and just shows up. How much does the plumber charge for working 8 hours? So money is a function of time, and when time t happens to be 8, the plumber makes a lot of money. 50 times 8 plus 100. We have 400 plus 100 is $500. Now, what if the goal is to make $400? The money M is 400. So 400 is 50t plus 100. We're going to throw the 100 over to the left. 400 minus 100 is 300, is equals to 50t. We can divide both sides by 50. So t is equals to 300 divided by 50. We knock off the zeros, and we see that 30 divided by 5 is 6. So in 6 hours, the plumber makes $400. In the context of this question, let's talk about the domain. We're talking about time. Time is not all real numbers. We have to think about time, and time is greater than or equals to 0. Now technically, no human being can work forever, so we could say that time is between 0 and perhaps 12 hours or so, 24 hours perhaps at max. But generally, we're going to say that time cannot be negative. So the final question here is comparing two plumbers. This plumber, E of T, is charging $70 per hour. At time equals 5, we're trying to see who's paid more. So this plumber E, at time equals 5, is going to charge $70 times 5 hours. which is $350. Whereas the original plumber, M, is going to charge, after 5 hours, 50T plus 100, which is $250 plus 100, which is $350. So both plumbers charge the same amount. Will E of T surpass M of T at T equals 5? So specifically at T equals 5, we're going to say that both plumbers are tied. But after T equals 5, when T is greater than 5, then yes, E of T surpasses M of T. However, specifically at T equals 5, we'll say it's a tie. This plumber charges more per hour, so eventually with enough time, this plumber will make more money. Let's try this challenge question. See f of x below. We have a nice piecewise function, but there's a hole here, and there's a hole here, and there's a solid point here. What's the domain and range? The domain is that x is not equals to -1. As you can see here at -1, there's a hole. That makes sense. And we don't have to specify that x belongs to real. Every other x value is specified. Notice how x does indeed equal 2. Even though there's a hole here, it's filled in by x equals 2 over here. And now for the more challenging question, what's the range? We say that y is less than 4. We can see that the y value of 4 is here, and because there's a hole, we don't say less than or equals to, we say less than 4. Now it's very tempting to say that y does not equals to -2. However, this is incorrect, because if we slide our eyes to the right here, indeed y does equal 2. So it's not necessary to write y does not equal to -2 at all. So this here is a concise answer.